It's the end of the month, so let's talk about training, medals, and what's coming up next. Hello, fellow geeks, and welcome back to Running Geek Girl. My name is Heather, and I am glad you are here. It's the end of the month, and this is when I give you a monthly update. We're going to take a look back at how training has gone. We'll talk about races and medals, any new equipment or gear that I've tried over the course of the month, what's coming up next on the channel, and of course our monthly playlist drop. We're going to start things off like we always do by taking a look back at the month in training. Welcome to September, although you would never know it from the weather because it still feels like summer. Now I am actually starting here in the middle of the first week of September because I have been at DragonCon. I have not been still though, definitely walking about 5 to 7 miles a day. So that's been a thing, plus the Geek Girls run, marching the parade route. So it has been very, very busy. On the other hand, I have not eaten well for the past week because I have been at convention and therefore lots of junk food. So I am back home, jumping back into my training schedule, and for some reason my calves are super tight today, but trying to take it easy a little bit because it's set to go on an easy run today. And then we're gonna jump back into some uphill work tomorrow. I do have a race this weekend just because I wanted to get a race in the month of September. So that's gonna be in Little Rock. It's gonna be the Luau Half Marathon. It is an out and back that you do 4 times for the half marathon. So going to be doing that, and I'm just going to treat that one as kind of a fun run. I'm not really gonna pay attention to my pace. I'm just gonna get out there and see what I can do because it's the longest run that I've done in a little while. So that is the plan for this week, to just kind of ease back into it, and then a nice fun race at the end of the week. So I will catch you after the race. And here we are for another week. Oh man, this race on Saturday was that was an experience. So click up here if you haven't heard me talk about that yet. We're back to our regular training schedule now, trying to get everything on track as best we can. And so today, thankfully, an easy run, which I'm doing as an easy run walk because my legs are still really sore from Saturday. And so I'm still kind of recovering a little bit, but we're going to stick to our easy run today. We've got some speed sessions coming up, some easy runs with some strides at the end, and then try to get some semblance of an easy long run on Saturday because I do have some Saturday afternoon plans with the family. But yeah, we're sore but optimistic. And I'm gonna be honest, I did not want to run today. I was not in the right headspace for it, but went out and did it anyway because sometimes that's what you gotta do. So I will catch you after this week's long run. Well, here we are again. After a couple of lackluster runs on Monday and Tuesday last week where I just wasn't feeling well, I didn't have any energy. I woke up Wednesday just barely able to move. I spent the rest of the week pretty much only being able to get my kids to school, and that was it. I was so sick that I had no energy, couldn't move, couldn't breathe. Even now you can hear I'm still not 100%. So here I am trying to ease back into things, and it's a challenge. Supposed to do an easy hour and a half today. So I'm alternating running and walking. I'm really trying to take it easy because I still have a lot of congestion and inflammation, and I don't want to make it worse, but I do want to keep my legs moving. So that's what my focus is right now. Maybe just a few minutes of strength training after each run if I still have the energy to do it, but I've got to do what's right by my body and make sure that I can actually keep myself healthy. So that's what I'm planning on doing. Maybe some easy uphill jogs, and we'll see how I'm doing after this weekend. I'm gonna have to do a bunch of funky scheduling because I've got plans for all throughout the weekend, and it's not really allowing much time for a long run. So we'll see how I manage to get that done. I'll talk to you next week. And here we are, the last week of the month. Man, today I am worn out. I did not get much sleep last night, so thankfully I only had a 1 hour easy run today, and it was a drag trying to get through it, but I'm trying to make up for it for the rest of the week. As of last week, I ended up having to move the long run to Thursday because I knew I was going to be booked Friday and Saturday. And Saturday arranged my schedule so that I would only have a 1 hour run, so that if I had to miss it, I'd only be an hour short from where I was planning to be for the week. And that's exactly what happened. I had stuff to do from 8 to 5, and by the time I was done, I was just too worn out to run. Sunday's always a fairly busy day between church, family obligations, meal prep, and stuff like that. So it was not able to squeeze that 1 hour run into Sunday. So I just started over again this week. Again, I'm having some stuff to do on Saturday, so I'm most likely going to have to move my long run to Friday. Runs are starting to get a little bit longer overall. My shortest run this week was the one I did today, and it goes all the way up to 2.5 hours this week. And so the runs are going to get just a little bit longer every single week and occasionally taper back down. So that is what I'm doing this week. Some uphill work, some fartlek work, and my long run. So that is the plan to get through the end of September. Let's take it back inside. And that brings us back to now at the end of the month. So this was not the month that I was expecting. I was not expecting the way races would go. I was not expecting to be sick for so long. Even now, I'm still having problems with my voice and with a cough that just won't go away. My coach has been on me to not push myself very much right now, that, you know, the training will come, that we still have lots of time to do this, but I am still worried about being able to be trained enough to handle 50 miles at the end of November. So let's take a look at just kind of how things have gone. I have tried to stay on top of things, but strength training has definitely taken a hit. I've gone down to just a few minutes every day if I can, or at least a few minutes at least 3 times a week when I have time for it. It's just been absolutely crazy. My schedule has been kind of messed up, especially with me being sick, with me doing Dragon Con at the beginning of the month and being off for some time there, then being off for being sick again. And I just feel like I can't get back on track. And I am really, really struggling to kind of stay on top of everything without pushing myself too hard, but figuring out when I do need to push, because I've got to get back on track. I've got to get some fitness in order to be ready for what's coming up in November. Overall, I feel that things definitely could have been worse, but they definitely could have been better too. This was just kind of a mess sort of month for me. A lot of time off that I wasn't planning, and I feel like I have a ways to go, but this gives me a clean slate to start from in the month of October. So I do have that going for me. I feel like things can definitely go up from here. And so that's what I'm concentrating on doing. I'm just trying to take everything one day at a time and seeing what I can get done just for that day. Definitely one thing that I have working in my favor is that the temperatures are very slowly starting to come down. So that does make things a little bit easier when I am able to get out and train. I do have that working for me. It's still really warm though. We're talking mid to high 80s at the highest point in the day. I've been trying to get out in the late morning, which is when I have the most time available to actually go out and run. And even then, we're looking at the mid to high 70s. So definitely a lot cooler than it was, but still a little on the uncomfortable side sometimes. But does anybody else kind of feel like they're struggling right now? Maybe it's not just me. I do know that some people are doing really, really well, because I have been seeing your videos and you have been making some great strides, and I am super duper happy for you. And I feel like I'm going to catch up. I will catch up. It's just going to take a little more time. That being said, let's talk about some of the races and medals that have been earned over the course of this month. The first one, this is really more of a virtual medal, but this is the Dragon Con Hustle, the Bolt 5K. And this is one that they do at Dragon Con every year. It is a virtual race where you donate money to the chosen charity for the year. And for this year, it was Cure Childhood Cancer. And then you complete your 5K over the course of the weekend. Since DragonCon takes place in 5 host hotels, you do a lot of walking around during the day, so you will definitely get 5K in over the course of the weekend. A lot of us who did the Geek Girls Run counted this as part of our 5K. I'll have a link to that up here in case you missed the Geek Girls Run. So that is something that happens at DragonCon every year, but you can see here is the lovely medal. Has the DragonCon logo on the back, and then you have your sublimated ribbon here with the DragonCon hustle, and it does have the charity Cure Childhood Cancer on the ribbon as well. So this turned out really, really nice. This was only, I believe, $29 towards charity, and it was for a great cause. I absolutely could not turn it down. And next up, we have the Luau Half Marathon that happened this month. That was the medal from that. This was a 5K, 10K, and half marathon that was put on by US Road Running. As you can see, I did really well that day. 3rd place overall female, and the Awesome Runner Award for dressing up in costume. So I do have a video up here, and trust me, you're gonna wanna watch this one. This race was, this race was an experience. And the thing is, I have looked up this company, and they put on these same races simultaneously nationwide, and they get great reviews in other states. In fact, in some states, they sell out the races. They've had to cap registration just because people love these races so much. But this was the first one that they put on here in Arkansas, and I feel like they've got a lot to learn. So although they did offer me a free race entry to one of the upcoming races, I'm not going to be able to do it, obviously, because of time constraints, other races that I'm registered for. And I really think they need to get a few more races under their belt and get things figured out before I attempt to race with this company again. Moving on to new gear and equipment, there was not anything that I changed with everything, all the craziness going on with me being in and out of training, being sick, being on vacation. I did not try to throw anything new into my training, so no new gear of equipment. However, Strava has let me know several times that my ASICs are way past their due date. I've run over 600 miles, and that's just what's been tracked on Strava. So I am definitely going to need to invest in a new pair of shoes, especially with all of the races that I have coming up for the rest of the year. So I've got to make some time to go get some new shoes. It's just crazy hectic right now, so I got to see what I can do. Keep your fingers crossed that I can get this done this month. Next, let's talk about what is upcoming. Now, I do have some races coming up on the race calendar. I'm trying to finalize a few things, so stay tuned for a short video coming up fairly soon where I'm going to break down what's going to be going on my race calendar for the next few months into 2024. As for what is coming up on the channel, I do have some more Run the USA where we're going to be taking a look at races in New Jersey. So if you have run some races in New Jersey, be sure to let me know about those down in the comments below. We do have some more race reports coming up because I am going to be doing some running over the month of October. Stay tuned for that as well. Also, if there is any topic that you would like me to cover in an upcoming video, I would love to get some ideas from you. Just drop those down in the comments below of more things that you would like to hear me talk about. Just so you know, I love doing research, so it doesn't matter what the topic is, I'm gonna love diving into it. And that pretty much wraps things up for the month of September. Not a super busy month as far as training goes, but definitely a super busy month as far as the rest of my life goes. Don't forget that we have a monthly playlist drop that's going to be down in the comments below. Every month I put out a new playlist for you to listen to for the month. That way, if you are going out on a short run, maybe running a 5K, then you have something to listen to. Or if you're just maybe looking for something new to add to your running playlist, I'm going to have the link down below to this month's playlist. And of course, with spooky season going on, I'm going to have a spooky season playlist. There's also going to be a link down below to Welcome to the Geek Den, and that is a running playlist put together by all of you. So everything that is on that list has been suggested by people who subscribe to the channel. If you would like to add something to the list, make sure to let me know down in the comments below so that I can add that to the playlist as well. You'll also find a link to All of the running tracks that have been selected for monthly playlists this year, all in one major long list. So if you're going on a super long run, you have a lot of music that you can listen to. Don't forget that you can subscribe to the channel. Just click that button down below. It doesn't cost you a thing, and it keeps you up to date on all the running content that I have coming out all the time. You could also give this video a big thumbs up. Both of those get me out to more runners just like you. You can also follow me on social media. All the links are down in the description. You can find me across all platforms under the name Running Geek Girl. Thanks so much for being here for another month. I'm so glad you could join me. Remember to laugh hard, run fast, and be kind. I will see you later.